Hello everyone, I am False Mind Reads, and today we are going to talk about Homeland by Salvatore. Now, I've tried to make this video a few times, and I keep messing up what I'm trying to say. It's not that I mess it up, it's that I say it, and then I will say one part, and I won't say the other. So I'm just going to say this right now. We are reviewing Homeland. There is two parts to this review. There is my review as a Dungeons & Dragons fan, and there is a review as a novel. I will quickly review this book as a novel because my thoughts as a novel are kind of very simple. It's a very good book. If you like fantasy and you like kind of non-standard fantasy where it's not like a quest, a hero. There is a hero, but he's not like righteous and all this stuff. He's not. He is righteous, but he's not on a quest to save the world. If you like stuff that is a bit outside of that kind of purview, this is a good book. It is a well-written book. It is fun. It is thrilling. It is emotional. It is good. I like it. And that's where the book review ends. If you don't care about my thoughts as a D&D fan, then sorry, this is where we have to say goodbye. But Forgotten Realms books, this is a Forgotten Realms book. That was completely wrong. But Drizzt books are set in the Forgotten Realms, right? And the Forgotten Realms is the standard D&D setting for 5th edition, 5e. And I play 5th edition primarily. I dabbled in Pathfinder and stuff, but I play 5th edition. And to me, the weakest point of 5th edition has always been, at least for running games, I have DM'd, I've liked D&D for a long time, 7 years now. And my main problem has always been 5th edition's insistence on the Forgotten Realms, because the difference between something like, what I can definitely say is like Lord of the Rings or Malazan or something like that, is these books are set in universes that complement the narrative that the author's trying to tell. Whereas Forgotten Realms is a game setting. It's meant to be a kitchen sink. It's meant to be, you want to go in jungle adventures? Here's a place for jungle adventures. You want to go and delving deep into caves to find long lost cities and treasures? Here's the Underdark. And it's for every adventure you could want. The Forgotten Realms should have it. But what is there to the Forgotten Realms? What is there when you kind of dust off all of the potential and you just have it there in front of you? What is there? And that's what I set out to answer with the Dark Elf trilogy. And, I'm just talking about Homeland right now. I'll have videos coming out for Exile and Sojourn soon. But Homeland answers the question, which is a very important question in fantasy in general, and it's a very important question in D&D that I think Wizards of the Coast actually just made a ruling on in their newest Player's Handbook, but that's not out yet. Anyway, so the question is there a species of, like a race, I'm going to say race because that's what I've been calling it for 7 years, forgive me, is there a race of being in the Forgotten Realms, in D&D, that is inherently evil? Are orcs inherently evil? That's the Lord of the Rings question. Are drow inherently evil? Are goblins inherently evil? This question fascinates me. My favorite race or species or whatever in D&D is goblin. And my favorite thing to ask is, what makes a goblin a goblin? You can have this goblin who is by species a goblin, but what makes him a goblin? That's my favorite question to explore in Dungeons and Dragons and in fantasy when I write and think about it. And this book, Homeland by Salvatore, in case you forgot, does this for drow elves, they live in the Underdark, they worship Loth. This is a very well established, it's well known. D&D elves are evil. D&D drow are evil. And this book kind of dares to ask, is that really the case? Because Drizzt Do'Urden, who is the main character, he's really weird on this cover art. I like it, though. I like it. But he is a lawful good character. In the alignment chart, he is lawful good. I stand by that. He tries his best in every situation to make sure that he doesn't kill at least humanoids, people who, non-animal, humanoid creatures. He tries his best not to kill. And he struggles with the... I'll say this. Gods can be inherently good or evil. I think that gods have that place where it's like Satan and Christian God, where they are good and evil on, in like the popular conscious, they're there. They're the pillar stones. You fall in between, basically. And God, so Lolth as a goddess, is evil. And she is the patron deity. She is... So in D&D, these races are claimed by gods. And Lolth claims most, if not all, drow elves. And this causes their society to be very interesting. It causes them to be matriarchy. I know words. A matriarchal society where women rule and the men are seen as second-class citizens. And it's kind of like... So the thing is if I were to describe human society in like medieval times, I would describe it as a chaotic neutral society where everyone has their own personal beliefs, which are kind of like little pieces of the puzzle of the grander societal belief. And that societal belief is chaotic neutral. In their society is a pretending to be lawful evil. They are a chaotic evil society. So he is a lawful good character growing up in a chaotic evil society. And this is just an incredible question to pose. Like, first of all, how does Drizzt, how is he good? Is he just born good? And this book kind of answers, it's complicated. Is he born good? Well, he's born different, and he's born a man, which teaches him about, a lot of things. A lot of them are cruel lessons. But he has a mentor who is already good, but is he predisposed to goodness? We don't know, because he has forsaken his potential of being good and taken up murdering those who he deems evil. Like killing those who he deems evil. Which, let's say he's like a superhero, right? In any other context, he is like, it's a worse version of Batman. He is someone Batman would try to stop. Murdering people because they're evil is not the best good person thing. So is Drizzt's father the thing that makes him good, or is he inherently good? It's up to interpretation. Are drow elves inherently evil? No. This is 2nd edition D&D, and R.A. Salvatore gives a definitive answer. No. They are evil because of the influence of their goddess. A lot of women are in the priesthood, and therefore they're directly influenced and connected to their goddess Lolth, and that makes them susceptible to her evil influence. Now, I think that gods have the right to be good, bad, anywhere in between, and in D&D, they certainly do fall on a morality spectrum. You are good, you worship the good god. If you're bad, you worship the bad god. It's just how it works in these types. In this Forgotten Realms specifically, because it's Dungeons and Dragons. It's an incredibly interesting topic, and I found that it handled it amazingly. And for that, I love this book. This book is so good, and it just keeps growing in my memory. I think about it enough, or I think about the characters enough, and think about the scenarios. And when I'm writing and when I'm playing D&D, I think about this book tremendously. It is a great novel in that regard. If you're a D&D fan, I think this is essential reading to really understand not only the Forgotten Realms as a campaign setting, because it kind of teaches you that, like, sometimes in fantasy and in D&D games, I think it's like writing a story where your guys go, fireball, fireball, fireball. In your D&D games, are your characters saying, fireball, fireball, fireball? Or are they thinking, fireball, fireball, fireball? I didn't know, but in this book, they are. They're thinking, this spell is called fireball. I'm going to cast this spell called fireball. And that's how it goes. And, like, there's, like, spiderwebs and darkness. And it's very interesting to see how someone in like a canonical, because this is canon, they have appeared in books for 5th edition, like this is canon to the Forgotten Realms. It's interesting to see how someone in the Forgotten Realms thinks about the Forgotten Realms. And it just happens to be a really good novel on top of that. So Homeland, I'm going to give it a 4 stars, because even though I think that as a property of D&D, it is phenomenal. It is 5-star D&D material. You need to read this if you're going to DM at least this one book. It'll change a lot of how you see Dungeons and Dragons, in my opinion. As a novel, I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It didn't blow my socks off. It's nothing I haven't thought about or seen before. It was just executed really well. I think I did it. I tried to make this video a few times, and I couldn't. I finished recording, and then I watched it back, and I'm like, I never talked about it as a novel. I only talked about it in the context of D&D. And so recording it this way, I'm pretty happy with it. Thank you all. Have a good day, and don't forget to subscribe and stuff.